from this number that says the missed call right there, the 480-336-3835. Well, 0336 is the last four of Dave's phone number. Two 330-336. Yeah, literally the last four digits of Dave's phone number, 0336. And I am currently 38, and I was 35 when I left Dave, because it's been 3 years. So I don't know if the universe is trying to tell me something there. Like, you got the chance to leave him at 35. Here's a chance to leave him again at 38. Can you do it? Like, I don't know. But what I'm really having a hard time about that I just could not sleep last night. I did a little meditation. I cried a little. I laid awake a lot. I did some Joe Dispenza guided meditation, basically trying to bypass these feelings and just think of like the happy memories. And I'm realizing it's not working because these emotions are gonna find a way out of my body one way or another. And if it's not this way, I have a feeling it's gonna break out through my skin, which sucks too. So, but what I'm having a hard time with is I have the surgery on Wednesday. And the surgeon said I can drive myself because it's just gonna be local, and then they do have nitrous oxide, laughing gas available. And he said that's out of your system, basically, like as soon as you stop using it. So you'd be fine to drive yourself home. And I didn't want to, though. I wanted somebody there for that support for me, for that emotional support. So I was trying to be proactive and hire somebody to have them there for that emotional support. So Rose. And she did tell me, because she's a doula now, regular birth doula, to have Jeannie on backup, like, just in case. And I was like, well, you know, if it's meant to work out, then the universe is gonna, like, have her be my person to take me. And if not, then it is what it is, right? So it's not a birth, but she messaged me yesterday, day before yesterday, to say that she was feeling off and that she was hoping with a good night's rest she'd feel better. She messaged me yesterday to say that she has a fever and she took tomorrow off of work, which is today, and that she's gonna have to cancel for Wednesday. And I get it, I do, but it just feels to me, basically brings up feeling abandoned. And I'm realizing that it's just, like, it's not her because she's sick, but it's bringing up those feelings of abandonment from my mom. And I mean, ultimately, that's, like, you know, the person that you want to nurture and take care of you and love you, right? Because that's what moms are for, and that's what moms are supposed to do, and it just kind of sucking and hitting more and more that that's not my mom. And yes, I can sit there and invite her to stuff when I have the kids, but I already know she's gonna say no. Just like she did on New Year's. She's gonna, like, have other plans. She's gonna have other things going on. Oh, well, we're doing this. Oh, well, we've got this going on in the neighborhood. Well, fine. Fuck you, Mom. If that's more important than spending time with your daughter and your grandkids, then fine. You go fucking enjoy that life, and you have your plans in the neighborhood, and you put on this show that everything's fine, and choose your abuser over people who could actually give you love. Go in and choose to be fucking miserable the rest of your life. And then sit there and play the fucking martyr about it And that's what I'm realizing too, is it's not even just like my dad who plays the victim and who gets in between me and my mom and who blames it all. I don't even know if he technically plays the victim or just blames everything on me. Maybe it's my mom more so who plays the victim. Because she does. She definitely plays, like, the martyr role. Like that text that I sent you. Of her after kicking my dad out. And the whole, oh God, forgive me. You know what? Go fuck yourself. Like, seriously, you're gonna sit there and, like, beg for forgiveness, but you're gonna just keep doing the exact same shit. You're not gonna do anything differently. So, my mom's basically, I guess I didn't even realize that before, that my mom's actually the one who plays the victim. I guess I thought it was always the narcissist who plays the victim. The narcissist, my narcissist, actually is the aggressor. My dad, no longer mine. Thank God. Thank God for my strength to kick him out. Whatever. So, because obviously my mom's not fucking strong enough to do it. But I guess I figured it was, like, the narcissist that played the victim role, not realizing that my mom is actually the one who plays the victim role. By basically having herself be abused and then playing the victim role. Oh God, forgive me. Oh, please forgive me. I love you and the kiddo so much. I hope that you can let me in your lives one day. Seriously? No, you don't. No, you don't. Because I invited you for New Year's, and I already know. I already, like, see it. That's the thing, because that's her pattern. Is if I were to invite her, she'd say no, because she has other stuff going on. And I don't think I can continue to invite her, because I think that would hurt me too much to always be turned down. Because anybody who gets to spend time with me and my kids is lucky. And if she's not able to do that, then so be it. Then I guess she can play that role, and she can sit there and play that reel in her head that she's the victim in it, and she's choosing to be. But that's kind of where I woke up middle of the night feeling. Like, I don't even know if I can invite her again, like, another time. I already know the answer is going to be no every single time. She's not going to be strong enough to stand up and say no to my dad. And it's just kind of that, like, grief again of, like, grieving the loss of people in your life that are still fucking alive. It's probably the hardest part, is, like, it's not even grieving the loss of a person who's dead, who can't be there, but grieving the loss of a person who's still alive, who's choosing not to be there. And I feel like I need to do like I did, like with Dave, with my dad. I need to do the same thing with my mom, for me, for my own mental health and wellness, and just not invite her. Because why put myself through that rejection every single time? Of knowing that she's doing it so that she can sit there and then play the martyr role of, like, oh, forgive me, I hope I can be in your life. When she doesn't really mean it. Because it's her role in this lifetime to play that. versus mine is to be the torchbearer and break the pattern, the cycle of abuse. But now I'm just struggling because of Wednesday, and I get it. I know I can drive myself, and it's fine. It's not fine, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't be crying about it. Like, I'll do it, because I know I need to, like, go get it done. I'm not gonna, like, wait for somebody to be available. But it's just that feeling of abandonment again is what Rose's actions trigger. And I know that's probably what that action is for, is to trigger this so that I can release it. I mean, my mom did abandon me my entire life. And chose her abuser over me. She let our abuser take care of me, quote, drive me drunk numerous times, left me in his care when he was so intoxicated that he couldn't even leave the apartment complex. He was driving around in circles. We were supposed to go to the Alpine side. Why is it that bad memories stick so hard? Why is that? Why can't, like, the good, amazing, happy memories stick this hard, too? I do have some happy memories, too. I do. And that's why I was trying to do the Joe Dispenza thing instead, but I couldn't just ignore this and not release it, and not release the grief. Like, I can literally feel my right middle finger, like, breaking out. Like, it was, like, suppressing. And I do have to remember that after the release of this stuff comes the rainbow, right? Like, you can't have the rainbow without the storm. That's okay. And I keep saying, like, over and over again, that's why, like, Matt Kahn's stuff resonates with me more. The whatever arises, love that. Like, if this comes up, then that's fine. Sit in the feels, feel it. Don't shame yourself for it. Don't try to change it. Just feel it, and that's okay. But literally left me in the care with somebody who was so drunk he couldn't leave our apartment complex. Do you really think that that was a safe person to be leaving your child at home with to take care of them? Do you think my dad actually did anything to take care of me? Or do you think it was probably me taking care of myself, and chances are me taking care of him? Because I definitely have memories of heating up TV dinners for him as a child. So then that brings up fucking feelings of anger. Like, how fucking dare you leave me, a child, in the care of somebody who is completely drunk and unable to take care of me. And then that brings me back to guilt, because I then did the exact same shit to to Callie. Because then I left her in the care of Dave, who was so fucking drugged up that he was still in bed and not taking care of her. Only I at least did do kind of stand up, and it fucking sucks, because it seriously, like, and then the guilt for carrying on that pattern and allowing it to go on for who knows how long. And even then, that wasn't my rock bottom to leave him. I just basically enabled and let him be drugged, and I took care of Callie. But even then, I didn't at some point. I didn't know that he was on drugs at the time. That is one thing I will say. My mom knew. My mom hid sorry, my dad hid the alcohol bottles, like, in plain sight underneath the couch cushion, and my mom would dump it out and fill it up with water in front of me. So I was basically taught to enable the addiction. I know that doesn't necessarily excuse my actions, but and then once I found out, I tried to make him go to rehab, right? But I definitely let him drive under the influence of drugs numerous times. Again, I didn't know at that time that's what was going on, probably because that's my normal, right? I'm sure that was my dad. I do remember one time Dave was driving me and him to a therapy appointment, and he was falling asleep at the wheel. And again, I let him do it, right? And I got mad at him and was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I wasn't falling asleep." Okay. But because that's what I grew up with. Which makes me just incredibly grateful now to not be in it. But that's what I hate about still leaving my kids with his parents and him. And I tried for so long, and I did for a while succeed with making him go do drug testing to prove sobriety. But, like, now I know, well, I'm assuming it's testosterone, I don't know for sure, but he said that he gives himself those injections twice a day, and that Hobbs likes to watch, or Callie likes to watch, and Hobbs doesn't. So I'm guessing that's testosterone, which then tends to make people angry, right? Funny how you start with one feeling and then you realize that there's actually like a whole other bowl of feelings swirling around underneath that one feeling. I had my therapy session Thursday with Donna to work through some of this stuff. Guessing due to me EMDR, I don't even know. Maybe releasing it emotionally, like right now, will be enough, just like I did with kicking my dad out. I thought I was going to have to cry about it a lot more during my therapy session, and actually when I told her the story, I felt much more empowered. I cried a little bit at the thought of not talking to my mom again, and then I almost feel like she was manipulating and toying with me when she then called me when my dad wasn't around, because it gave me that like little bit of hope. And the text message like begging to still be in my kids' lives, I felt like that was almost giving me that little bit of hope that maybe she would be. Versus just like that acceptance of like, that's just, God, it sucks, because even that is like fucking manipulative, because you don't fucking mean it. And that's the thing, I know she doesn't. I know she's not gonna like just all of a sudden one day be like, okay, come pick me up and I'll come hang out with you and the kids. And I'm fucking pissed. And I'm pissed that she's continuing to choose her abuser, but that's what she did. It's not gonna change. That's my mom's pattern. But again, it's just kind of like that grief of like, it's not even the grief of the loss of the person, because I didn't have the relationship, right? It's like the grief of the loss of what you wanted or what you were hoping for. Or I guess it is kind of the grief of the loss of what you realize you never had. How's that one for a psychological twister for you? Grief of the loss of what you realize you didn't have that you could have had. But I really don't think I can continue to invite her to things, knowing that I'm going to be shot down. Because I deserve people who want to spend time with me and want to spend time with the kiddos and reach out to me to spend time with me, instead of me always trying to force it and plan it and make it happen. And honestly, now I'm kind of getting there with like the trip with us too, as I say that, because I do feel like it's been me trying to make it happen, and I think at this point I need to just let that go. And if you want to come visit me or set something up, and maybe Lily and I can attempt to travel, but at this point I need to stop reaching out and asking for you to schedule, because you've got other shit going on, and I'm realizing that it does hurt there too, because it feels like, again, I'm trying to force something. Yeah, definitely a lot of feels right now. So I'm gonna go sit here and see if there's any more tears left, and hopefully maybe be lucky and get to take a little bit more nap, since I did not sleep at all last night. Yeah, definitely just got there with that one. Thinking about the fact that I've been trying to set up a visit to have Danielle come and visit me since summer of last year. So I get that's only like 6 months, but realizing that she's always had other stuff going on. And other trips to take, like with her friend Jess, and weddings, and I mean, Kauai with her family, I get that one. And Jess was a good one for her to learn from, but realizing that even the year before, going to Vegas was, well, the year before going to Vegas was her marrying Brant, so me going there for her. And the year before that was technically for my birthday, but it was still her going with Brant, not just her going. So basically now I've gotten to the point of recognizing that I choose people who are emotionally and physically unavailable to be there for me, which makes sense because that's what I grew up with as far as my parents are concerned, is they were not there for me. Definitely not emotionally. Like, my basic physical needs were met, but even my dad screaming in my face, my mom allowed it, didn't stop it, so she definitely was not there for me. She let him do it. She let him take care of me. I keep saying that. He didn't take care of me. She let him... thing. An alcoholic who can't drive is not in any shape to take care of a child. And that's interesting, because when I close my eyes, I can see two hands held together in a heart. Like the way you do that with the, I don't even know if I can do it right now, but like the half of the heart and the half of the heart. I can't do it since I'm holding my baby. But just getting to that point of realizing that that means that probably just about any adult friendship that I've had, I'm guessing up until this point, is choosing people who are ultimately unavailable for me, because I'm going to recreate that pattern until I have the chance to break it. So while leaving that video for Danielle and releasing all those emotions, it finally clicked and dawned on me. It made me realize that she's probably never gonna actually plan a trip out here to come and visit me either, because I choose people who are emotionally and physically unavailable, who aren't able to be there for me, who aren't able to actually come and want to be with me. So that's an interesting one for sure. But I had to stop that video once I got to that realization and start leaving myself a video so that I could process through that realization. Realizing that even like tomorrow's situation, I've basically created by creating situations for people to be unavailable for me, because that's what I'm used to from my childhood. Well, now that I recognize it, I can actually do something about it, but it definitely does hurt right now to realize. 7 days a week. But that's also, I can be the change. And I can allow myself to be there for my kids who need me. And of course now I'm feeling guilty about that one, because my daughter wanted to stay home from school yesterday, so I let her. But then today my son was crying this morning wanting to stay home from school, and I couldn't do it. Because I knew I needed to do this, and I knew I needed to release this, and I knew I needed to let it go. But I did tell him that I would pick him up from school today. And Lily and I would pick him up from school, and asked him what he would like to go do, and he wants to go to an arcade. So Lily and I will go take him there. So no, it might not be in the exact moment, but I can be there for my kids, and I can be the change, and I can be there for them. It is definitely a realization to realize that Danielle's coming out here to visit is not gonna happen, because there's always gonna be something else that comes up for her too, just like with my mom, because that's what I chose in life. And no, I don't have to choose that anymore. I'm grateful that Jeannie can at least watch Lily tomorrow so that I can go. I'm struggling with that one though, because Lily doesn't take the bottle. And I don't know if that's going to be too long to be away from her, for her to go without eating. But I also don't think I necessarily want, I don't know. I don't necessarily want Jeannie to be there with me. Like, I don't feel like I can be emotionally vulnerable with her and cry in front of her. And I do feel like I'm probably going to need to do some crying on the way to and from that appointment tomorrow, getting the ring cut out. Even the Minnie Mouse tattoo, the memory behind that one. So I got that tattoo when I went to Washington in high school, I must have been. Was I in high school? Maybe early college? I don't know. Whenever I was dating my boyfriend, Kevin, I went out there to visit on a trip with him and to visit his family. And the first day, we went snowboarding. It was ice, and he took me down an icy blue for my first run ever snowboarding. Yeah, talk about that lack of empathy. Then, the next day it at least snowed, and guess who spent part of the day teaching me on the green? His ex-girlfriend. Yeah, that's right. Well, he went off and, like, did the black or whatever, you know, the I don't know if they were the black or the black diamond or whatever, but the more difficult ones, and I was with his ex-girlfriend. She stayed behind to teach me on the green. Yeah, that shows something about who I chose as boyfriends for sure, because I stayed with him for a while. And it's funny, because he used to have psoriasis on his elbows. But I guess once you see, you can't unsee. Which is a good thing, right? So now I know that I choose emotionally unavailable people in general as my pattern, so now I can at least break that, and I can be different for my kids. And I didn't keep forcing Hobbs to get ready. I let him lay there and cry, and I just kind of sat here and let him lay there and snuggle with Lily, and then give him some more time, and then eventually he was like, I gotta go potty, and then he went potty, and then he came back and got dressed and let me help him get dressed for school. So he just needed that release too, and I don't know, maybe that's the thing, we just all had the emotions, and I just need to let them go and recognize them as well. So, alright, this girl's getting hungry again, so I'm gonna feed her, snuggle her, hopefully get a little nap after all that good emotional release. Welcome to a live realization. That was